We have lots of dogs here. It's okay, Toaster. What do you hear? You hear a dog? Hey everyone, it's Natalie, also known as Knitty Natty. Welcome to episode 223 of the Love in Stitches podcast. Today I am in Washington State in Marysville at my friend DIONNE'S house. We have had just a week of kind of staying in one place, doing a little bit of relaxing and catching up on a lot of work, and it's been amazing. After I finish filming this today, we're going to be getting back on the road, heading back south to California. We've been going up and down the West Coast for a while now. And our next thing we're going to be doing is going to a bunch of national parks again, which I'm really looking forward to because we've had a really busy yarn-filled, filming-filled last month. And it will be great to get outside, enjoy the weather as it's warming up. It's spring now. This is the first podcast of April, which is great. Today, as I'm filming this, it's actually Easter. So happy Easter to anyone who celebrates. So yeah, I've just been having a really great time, and I'm so grateful to have been able to stay here at my friend's house. Toaster has been really enjoying it, but more on that later on. I have gotten a fair amount of knitting and crochet done this week. I always think I'm going to do more than I actually have the time for, but I have been able to finish an item. I've been able to work on my Musselburgh hat, which has been really exciting. So all of that to share in a bit. I also have quite a bit of yarn to show you that has come in the mail. That's always the other perk when staying with friends, is that new things can come and arrive. Before we get into the episode, I want to say a big thank you to a returning sponsor of the podcast, Book of the Month. I'm the kind of person who reads to go to bed every single night, and I try to read most mornings if I have the time for it. What I love about Book of the Month is that they have totally expanded both the genres and the authors that I love to read. Book of the Month's entire mission is to help readers discover new books that they love to read and promote the work of emerging authors. So here's how it works. Each month, the editorial team reads through hundreds of new titles. They pick 5 to 7 of the best new books for me to choose from. All of the books are vetted, so I can't go wrong. On the first of the month, I just go to bookofthemonth.com or on their app, and I'm able to choose from 1 to 3 books from the curated selection. Then my book selections are delivered straight to me in a bright blue box with beautiful hard covers with the Book of the Month seal of approval. For April, I have selected 2 different genres. The first one is a thriller. It is called Darling Girls by Sally Hepworth. For the second one, I've gone back to my love of historical fiction with All We Were Promised by Ashton Lattimore. Oh, and if physical books are not your thing, Book of the Month now has audiobooks available for subscription. I love not having to wonder what I'm going to read next. I can just pick out one of the best new books with the swipe of my fingertips. Go to bookofthemonth.com to get your first book for just $5 with code PASTEL. Thanks again to Book of the Month for sponsoring this week's podcast. And now let's get into the episode. First up this week, I have a finished object. So this is a Crochet Yarn Cozy Light. This is one of my patterns. It's meant to hold a 100-gram cake of yarn. So 100 grams of fingering weight, sport weight, or DK weight pretty much can fit in here, depending on, how much you're willing to squish. And this is the first time that I've ever done this stripey, which is really fun. It was not my original idea. I've seen lots of different versions of this yarn cozy pattern, and I love it when people use scraps or, make changes to it. And this is just really, really fun. So I had to try it myself, but instead of using like true scraps leftovers, I used a sock set of minis from Sorella Yarn. And this is their nylon sock, which is an 80/20, and the yarn is amazing. I also haven't tried their yarn before, so this was a great opportunity to do that. And it's amazing, of course. So I used a set of 5 colors. I started out with the green on the bottom, and then I did 5 rows in the green, 4 rows of each of the other ones, and then ended in the I-cord with the green. And the reason that I didn't do 4 rows of each is because I thought I would need, I don't know, whatever, like in the pattern, I have it written as how many rows you will probably need to do, and also how many inches you need. And the inches are like a kind of a checkpoint. So that way, if your row gauge is just a little bit different than mine, then you still can make the right size cozy, right? I think it's really nice to have both of those options. So since I wrote the pattern, I thought, well, I will just follow the number of rows that I suggested in there. And it turns out I didn't actually need all of those rows. So when I make this, I'm making a second one. I'm going to just do 4 rows of each of the 5 colors. And I think that will work out nicely. Oh, we have lots of dogs here. It's okay, Toaster. What do you hear? You hear a dog? I'm trying to keep him in here with me because if I let him out there, then him and their dog Leon will be playing so much, it'll be super loud. Okay, I think we might have gotten through. You see Toaster over there? Anyway, the other thing I really wanted to know is how much yarn, like how much each little stripe, how much the bottom took and everything. So I do have that in my project page. I just need to pull it up because I don't remember off the top of my head here. Okay, perfect. So what I forgot to do is I wanted to measure out exactly how many grams just the bottom of the cozy took. Then how many each little stripe, and then how much the I-cord takes, which we can kind of do backwards math on that. But what ended up happening is I got excited and I made the whole thing, and then I weighed everything after the fact. So I didn't weigh them before. I'm pretty sure they were 20 grams. They could be a little bit less because they are the 80-20. But I just did this based off of a 20-gram mini, weighing what was left, and then that's what I got. So the green, which I used the most, of course, on the bottom, a stripe here, and the I-cord, I used a total of 10 grams, provided that it was a 20-gram mini. And then for each of the other ones, I only used 2 grams of each of these. So what a great way to use up leftovers. So if I do this again, which I actually have started another one, I'm going to do my best to weigh it per section so I have a much clearer picture to share how much each section takes. I know in the pattern I have an approximate for the I-cord. I think I put like 5 grams, which is a big overestimation because I'd rather you have leftover yarn and then rather than run out. So I'm going to do that. And then the other things I would change is I'm just going to do 4 rows here on the first stripe. And I actually might do an extra row here at the top. See how the I-cord kind of eats up half of this row? It makes this stripe look a little bit smaller. So this one looks way bigger. I mean, it is a row bigger. These all look even because they're all 4 rows. And this one was 4 rows, but it looks a little smaller because of the I-cord. I also think it would have looked nice just to keep the I-cord in that last color. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that on the next one. Make it a little bit different. Could be very, very fun. I've also seen where some people have done like a fun surprise color here on the bottom and the whole rest of the cozy is just one color, which I think is also very, very fun. So anyway, I've enjoyed this so much. I made this one and I've started the next one for a giveaway for Knit for Food. So if you are somebody who donated under the Love and Stitches group for the Knit for Food program, then once I finish the second one, I will be drawing randomly from all the donations and sending 2 of you out a prize. So here's my next one that I started on. This is with another mini set that I got in Portland at Weird Sisters. This is from Ex Libris Fibers, and it is, all the minis are named, which is really fun. And it's after the book Braiding Sweetgrass, which I have not read, but apparently it's really, really good. So this one's a little bit different because some of the minis are semi-solids and some are more variegated. So I figured out, they're also pretty together. Here, let me hold them up. I figured out the order that I want to do, and I've started with red. That's actually kind of fun. Just spin around like that. So I've started with red for the bottom. I'm going to do it similarly to this one. So I'll do red, red, and then one of the variegateds, one of the tonals, one of the variegateds, and one of the tonals. And that will be my second one. these work up so fast and they're so much fun. I know I am biased because I created this pattern. So clearly I love like the pattern that I made. I love the style of crochet. It's simple, it's easy. And then you just have like that little bit of challenging your brain with the I-cord at the end, but I find them really, really fun. So very excited about that. Now you may be wondering, why did I get this yarn and then choose to use it for the cozy and not for my blanket? So I have a lot of yarn right now to add into my Hexie blanket, and I have a lot of tonals lately, and I don't really want to add too many solids to my blanket. I want it to be mostly variegated yarns, and so I just decided, you know what, I have plenty of yarn for my blanket. I have plenty of tonals. I'm just going to use what I have to make some really fun cozies. So that was the plan. That was the decision making behind that. So hopefully I will have the second one done by the next podcast, and then I will be able to send those out to a couple of you guys. Speaking of my Hexie blanket, let's talk about that one next. So I don't actually know. Usually I stop and I count how many Hexies I've done in the previous week before I start the podcast, but I didn't this time. I've been working up a lot of Hexies, but I don't think I've attached a lot of Hexies yet. Looks like I have attached 4 of them. So that's okay. Not a ton, but I am finished making the first 4 rounds of each Hexie I have for Oregon, especially since I use that mini set now, not in my blanket for Oregon and in the cozy. So I am really, really close to being finished with Oregon, and then I will be moving on to my next 2 states that I have yarn for. So let's just go through these ones. I have all of them in my project page right now. So I think I had already done this one last week. I can't remember if I put the marker in the last one that I finished or the first one I finished for the week. This is Ritual Dyes Frogberry. It was a show colorway for the Rose City Yarn Crawl. And then all of these next 4 I got at Coastal Yarns in Cannon Beach. Yeah, Cannon Beach, Oregon, which is on the coast. And it was not part of the yarn crawl, but we went on that same weekend, and they had a ton of hand-dyed yarn. That is their kind of like store exclusive, I believe. I wasn't entirely sure, but I had not seen that yarn before, and they named all of these mini skeins after local animals, plants, like monuments in the area. And so I had a hard time not just getting all of them. I think I have 6 in total, 4 that I've added in. So if you're familiar with the area, you're probably going to recognize some of these places. This one is called Wild Lupine. I think that's how you say that. This one is Haystack Rock, which is a rock there. This one is Ecola. I think that was like a beach or something. And then this one is Seafoam. Isn't that so pretty? So that's all I've actually attached to the blanket. Oh, by the way, this is the Summer Fade Hexie Blanket by Mallory Krull. So in here, since I've been staying with my friend for the last like 4 days, I have been winding yarns here and there, getting stuff ready to just, get caught up on this blanket. So here is the mess that I have. I've got another Coastal Yarns ready to go and add in. So this is what I've been doing lately. I'll make up a bunch of the Hexies all the way into the point where they need to be attached. So you attach them on the last round, and you start out by doing one side of the Hexie and then start to attach them. So I've got that, and then I think I have 2 more from Coastal Yarns. So this one as well, very pretty. And then my last Oregon yarn, which is so exciting, is this one. And this one I got at a yarn store called Cozy in Eugene. And this colorway is called Tracktown USA, which you will know the reference if you are a Ducks fan. So I have 3 more Hexies to attach for Oregon. Then I'm making a pivot. So far on my blanket, for the most part, I have been adding in Hexies chronologically. So that means in the order of places that I go, at least by state. And then let's say I get, if I'm at a show and I get a bunch of yarns, then I will say, okay, well, this whole next section is for this show, but let me arrange them by, kind of how I think the colors are going to look good, not putting too many similar colors next to each other in the blanket. So that's what I did for Rose City. But then after that, we went down to California again to the Bay Area yarn crawl. Then we came back through Oregon, did not acquire any more Oregon yarns, but we got to Washington. And I do have quite a few Washington yarns. Some of them I got in Oregon. Some of them have been gifted to me, and then some of them I have purchased myself at different yarn stores that we've gone to in the past couple weeks. So rather than keep things chronological and go from Oregon to California and then back to Washington, I'm going to be adding my Washington yarns next. I only have 5 of them. I believe that's right. So I have one. This one's really pretty. This one was gifted to me actually in Oregon, but it's a Washington dyer. And I'll be sharing the colorway names and the brands once I get them added into the blanket. This one's also from Washington. I just bought it. And then I think I have all my other Washington ones. I'm looking at the bed here, wound up and ready to go. Yeah, it looks like I have 5 more. Then I have a ton of California yarns, and those are all upstairs next to the ball winder, ready to be wound. So we're gonna go Oregon, Washington, and then California because we are currently in Washington. I did hope to get all my Washington ones added while I was in Washington. Have another day to make that happen, but probably not. And then we were going back to California. So I thought, well, that'll be perfect. I'll work on my California ones while I'm in California again. So that's the logic. The logic that's not so logical for the blanket this week. Things are looking good. I am not feeling overwhelmed by this project like I was about a month ago when I had so many yarns unwound and so many yarns to add. Now I'm feeling like I'm making progress every week, and that is good enough. I've managed to do a little bit of sock knitting this week because I have been stationary, which means I've been able to knit and read in the morning, which has been lovely. So I have gotten some work done on my Knitty Natty sock. So this is the second sock, and you can see from my progress keeper that I've done a decent amount. I actually got started on the heel. So this is the Vanilla is the New Black pattern by Anne Fletcher, and I have just modified it to have 2x2 ribbing throughout. The heel is the strong heel, and it already has the 2x2 ribbing, I think, at least in the Vanilla is the New Black pattern. And so I just made it so that the ribbing from the leg goes right into the ribbing from the heel. I think it looks really, really cool. Actually, I had my mom send me one set of sock blockers, not something I originally packed in the van because I thought it would be fun. I wanted to actually block my socks, but also it's nice to be able to show them on the podcast. So let's see if I can get this on here. Sometimes I can't get unblocked socks onto this size. Oh, it looks like it's working. So this is the first sock. Again, it's not blocked, and what it looks like. So it's a little bit interesting because I did the rib for the whole thing. So normally you just have the rib like back here with the sock, and everything else will be stockinette. So it does look a little interesting. I probably could have stopped doing ribbing on top of the foot to give, like once I started increasing for the heel, I probably should have started doing stockinette here. That way I would have had a smoother transition into the foot. But I don't hate this, and I'm curious how it's going to feel when wearing it. It might actually be nice to have a little bit of elasticity there around that part of the foot, a little more stretch, a little more shrink, We'll just have to see. I haven't actually finished a pair of any of the Vanilla is the New Black socks. I've got 3 pairs of them going. So I will be curious to actually start wearing them, but I like how it's looking so far. I think it's really cool. And so this one started the heel, made some progress on the leg, started the heel this week. And then hopefully by next week, I'll be into the foot. That'll be really, really nice. Right now, I don't have a project that is good for taking places. Like I went to a musical this week, and I didn't have anything I could work on that was ready to be, just knit round and round on. If I'm like knitting in the dark or in the car or something like that, I don't have a project like that right now. So I need to remedy that very soon. I would like to have something that is just easy knitting that I don't have to look at. So once this project gets to the foot, I will have that for about, I don't know, 40 rows, which is not going to take more than a couple of hours. So that's not enough. That's why the Musselburgh hat is so great, because it provides me with so much time to have just plain knitting in the round for inches and inches and rows and rows. But I might cast on a new hat. I need to figure it out, or possibly a sweater. That might not be the best solution to having like an easy project, but I'm still feeling like I need to get some of these socks off my needles first before I do any of that. Okay, last project for this week, and this is something that was a finished item that I then unfinished it and refinished it again. It's still not blocked again, but it was a necessary fix. So my Musselburgh hat. I love the Musselburgh hat by Isolde Teague. By the way, a couple of weeks ago, they updated the pattern. So if you have Ravelry, you're able to go into your Ravelry library. There should be a little like notification. It has like the arrows in a circle. It should say update available. You update it, you re-download it, and then add it, wherever you look for patterns. If you print them out, if you download them to your phone, whatever you do. I use Knit Companion. So check that out, because they have now in their different section lengths. If you're trying to do something, kind of like this, where you change either the stitch pattern or the color, I think that's really awesome and really helpful. So here's the issue with my hat. You can see that I've got ribbing here, semi in the middle. So the plan was each hat would have stockinette for the body and the crown. One side of the hat would have stockinette for the brim, and the other side would have rib for the brim. And I thought this was a great idea. It's going to give me two different styles of hats, because you flip this thing inside out, then you can wear it either, or flip one side inside the other, and you can wear it either way. And this is like my 8th or 9th or something Musselburgh hat. So I thought, I've got this down. But then what happened, and I have a photo of this, is when I would fold it in half and wear it with the stockinette brim, the rib would poke out the top, and I just hated how that looked. I did not think it looked good. A lot of you said it looked cute, kind of looked like the picot edge, but that was not my plan for it. I did not want it to look that way. So I didn't want to mess with it for a while, and I was actually just wearing the hat as is, because I needed the same yarn to finish another project. Well, now that one's finished, and I had some leftover yarn, which seemed to be enough. The yarn that I was using, why is that one so dirty? Oh, that's not dirty, never mind. I use American Made Alpaca in their sport. Was this a sport weight or a DK? I don't remember. 300 yards? What is that? Anyway, 70% alpaca, 30% merino. It's awesome. I love it. The color is fawn. And I needed to finish that other project to know if I had enough yarn to make adjustments to it. And then I was like, okay, yay. I have enough yarn to make adjustments. Now I just need the brain space to rip back a little bit of this and reknit it. And I finally had that this weekend. So you can see from the picture where, when I fold it in half, you can see the like rib sticking out. So my theory was that I needed to make this stockinette section about 6 rows longer to cover the 5 rows, I think it was 5 rows of ribbing that were poking out. If I made this stockinette part 6 rows longer, it would shift where the hat folded, and it wouldn't fold in the middle of the ribbing, it would fold between the ribbing and the stockinette. So you can definitely see where I ripped this back. I then added those 6 rows, reknit the crown the same way. I've still left this tail out just in case this doesn't work out. So, oh my gosh, I just got nervous. I hope this works. I have not tried this on yet, so we're going to do it together. Also, I definitely am going to reblock it, and it should take care of that. It might take a couple of blocks to take care of where I picked it back up, so we'll see. Okay, moment of truth. Let's fold this thing up. Oh, I think it's gonna work. Okay, so already it's looking a little better. Like I can't really see, just barely, the peak of the rib. So I need to turn the hat the other way, like so. Okay. Oh, please, please, please. All right, I'm gonna fold it up. Okay. It looks better. Maybe not exactly how I wanted it to be. Ah, you know what? I feel like I need to reblock this. Okay, hold on. It kind of looks the same. See, this was what I was afraid of. I was afraid if I do, I'm gonna go do all this effort and then I'm gonna be like one row off, and it feels like I'm just one row off, doesn't it? Like I just need one more row. I think I need to block it again and see if I can kind of, sorry about that, my camera got too hot and it just shut off on me, which hasn't happened in a long time. I think since I've been mostly filming outside where it's cold. Anyway, whatever I was saying about this, I feel like I'm so close. I feel like I need like 2 more rows, which is a bummer, but I think it is worth to go back and do yet again. So I just don't know. I just don't understand. I do think I should block this because I feel like it has a little more to give that could come around a bit more. Oh, actually, yeah, I think it does. Okay, so I probably just need to block it and then I'll see. Another block. Now, a couple of people asked, oh, yeah, actually, I don't know, I might add some more rows. A couple of people have asked, you know, why don't I just do a round of purl to help it flip? And that's because I don't want a purl ridge to show. I want it to be a smooth, rounded stockinette edge. And that's just like my preference. But clearly I'm not even able to achieve that because it keeps basically looking like a purl ridge by having the ribbing stick up. So I think I need more rows of stockinette. I might just take it back and go ahead and add them before I even block it. It's gonna be worth it to get it right. And then I will let you know how to do that if that's something you want to do. Or maybe this is a lesson to all of us to not put ribbing in the middle because it's just not working out. I have 3 lovely Yarny show and tells today, so we're just gonna make it a segment of its own. And the first is my Woolen Women Fibers box for May has just arrived. So this one will be available to order. Usually it's through the 21st of the month. So through the 21st of April, you'll be able to order May's box. I have not looked into it. So let's see what the theme is. Okay. Here it is. This is what it looks like. So this is a themed box every single month, and you can choose to get just the yarn, or you can get the yarn and all the goodies that come with it. And all of the things are designed to work themed together. So it's a fully immersive experience. There's usually a candle and some kind of other like scented item, maybe a wash, maybe a balm. So let's see what this says. You find yourself back in the times of Camelot romantic castles, a hero-heroine on horseback and dragons await you. The days are long, spent locked safely away in a tower, safe from the dragon that flies overhead. Until you are saved, there is always one more stitch to knit and to crochet, plants to water, and the tower to clean. I think this is Camelot? Oh wait, it does say Camelot, doesn't it? Okay, super fun. All right, let's dive into this one and see what the yarn is. Ooh. This one is called a Woolen Camelot. Now you can get either the DK weight version or the fingering weight. That is super pretty. It also always comes with a pattern, either knit or crochet. I've chosen crochet. So it looks like this one is the Hearts Full of Love plant pot cover, which you could also use as a candle cozy, mason jar cozy, or a candy dish. How fun is that? That's super cool. I don't know what that technique is. I don't think I've done that before. I'll have to try that out. That looks really, really fun. Or you can do whatever you want with it. Okay, there is a bag. Oh, this one's a nice big bag. They also sew these bags. It's got a big old handle on it. Let's see what the inside looks like. Zippered, lined, very nice. Okay, and then it also comes with stitch markers. Oh, am I gonna need scissors for this? I should have brought my scissors over here. I opened up the first part, but not the second one. Okay, let me see what the extra goodies are. So extra goodies this month include everything you need to make your tower homey and comfortable. One, a reusable cloth. Moisten with water, wring out before using to clean up spills. When used with cleaning sprays, just spray the surface as normal. Cool. I've never tried these before. That's really neat. Okay, next, mini clothespins are great for minding those yarn ends or hanging your creations in the tower window. That is very funny. Oh, and they're decorated. Actually, that's a great idea to like clip up your ends so that they don't bother you. So smart. I'm gonna clip that to here. Soap dish holder for storing your handmade soap. Oh, actually, I love this. This would be perfect. I have those Tuft woolen, what are they called? The wool wash bars. That is great. Oh, wait a second. Hey, they think of everything. Okay, on to the next part. Wool wash bar. Dragons fly at sunset. It looks like it's lanolin, cocoa oil, palm oil, safflower oil, shea butter, and oat protein. Can be colored and decorated. Interesting. I don't think it has a strong scent. Oh, actually, it smells very good. You know what it kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of like when you would walk into Hollister. If anyone can go there with me in that moment in the early 2000s, that is so perfect. I love that. Okay, there's also a soy wax candle, and oh, I think the soy wax candle is called Dragons Fly at Sunset, and this one is Castle on the Coast. Here's a candle, very pretty. Oh wow, that smells really good. Like beachy and sweet. Oh, that one is nice. Oh, I love that we're getting into spring. This is so fun. Okay, I need to get some scissors to open this. My card is also telling me that the Ravelry pattern is called Cottage Hair Accessories by Wool and Pine. That sounds fun. I just love this box because it comes with so many creative things and it's different every single month. You get the same basic things like usually a bag and stitch markers and the yarn and the pattern, but then the other things kind of change and it's so fun. And every single month we're traveling somewhere different. Okay, let me get some scissors. We'll open up what I think are the stitch markers. Do we think they're going to be dragons? That might be my guess. Oh, here's the card. It always has a wax seal on it, which is very fun. Makes you feel like you're in the old times. What does this say? I think this is just the receipt. Yep. Still so fun. Okay. One last thing from Sam's Tiny Trinkets. Oh, wow. These are so cute. Now, I don't know much about Camelot. Sorry. Maybe you can tell me. I only know what one of these things is. And I'm going to say that this is a dragon. Look how cute it is. It's so detailed and so sweet. I don't know what this is. It kind of looks like a cloud to me. It has like a little gemstone in it. What is that? Anybody? Every single month, we go somewhere different and spectacular with the Wool and Women Fibers box. So if that's something that you're interested in, you can sign up for the box I just showed, the May box, through April 21st. Or if you're watching this later, you can join in anytime and come travel with us around fantasy worlds, real places, and the like. I've got a link down below where you can check out woolen women fibers. This next Yarny goodie I have been holding on to for a couple of months in secret, and I haven't been able to share it with you, and I can finally share it with you. So this is the Red Stag Fiber Manor collection. So you may have seen it if you watched the Red Stag Fiber Dye Studio tour that we did on Wednesday, or you may have heard me talking about it in the Modern Skein Yarn Store tour that was last Saturday. So this is a brand new base that they have developed, and I don't know anyone else who has this. This is a sport weight yarn. It is 75% Polworth and 25% Massam. And these are both different kinds of sheep, and it's a non-superwash, and it just makes this really awesome base. I believe it is, I would know better if I had watched back the tour yet, but that's on my to-do list later today. I want to say that this has it already has like a color underneath. That's not the right way to say it, but like it's not a white base, so it has just like really beautiful kind of heathery look to it. The color I have here is called Royal Ballet, and it is kind of a pinky purple, beigey gray. I mean, it's got like all kinds of colors in it. But anyway, this collection is amazing. They have a special label for it, so it's kind of like their black label, but they're calling it the Manor collection, and it is coming out on Friday, April 5th. And if you are in the Montgomery area, they are having a Manor collection launch party on Friday, April 5th from 1 to 6 p.m. at the Modern Skein. So you may want to look into that, see what you need to do, if you need to sign up or just stop by. But you definitely want to go and feel this yarn. It is so yummy. And if you're on the Red Stag Fiber newsletter, you will have already seen this. So you'll be able to order it. You know, you'll be the first people able to order it. But for everyone else, it should be coming out very, very soon on the Red Stag Fiber website. And this is the thing I'm thinking about making up into a hat. Maybe, I don't know yet what I want to do, but it's very nice. I've been really enjoying some non-superwash yarns lately, and just the qualities of them with my, the other Musselburgh hat I made, and with my, Traveler's loop that I just finished. Really, really nice. Okay, one last thing. This one is a gift that just arrived in the mail. It was a surprise, for me from Wool Market Fibers. Wool Market Fibers is the yarn store we went to in Mississippi earlier this year. And when I was there, I asked them if they had a colorway that was made for their store. So they have their own yarn line, and they had so many beautiful colors. And the color I picked out was for Mardi Gras. I think it was called King Cake. Yeah, it was called King Cake because I had some King Cake while I was there. Well, they've just sent me this, and I haven't opened it yet, but I have a really good feeling that one of these might be a Wool Market Fibers colorway. Let's get this opened up together and see. I also think it's so sweet that they already wound these for me, because except today, the last day that I'm at my friend Dion's house, I don't have access to a ball winder. So thank you. That was so thoughtful. All right, let's see what these two beautiful purple colors are called. Okay, here they are. All right, Wool Market Fibers. What do we got here? It's called Wool Market Fibers. Okay, here's the label. And you can see right there. Oh, can you see? There we go. Wool Market Fibers. I love it. Oh my gosh, cannot wait to add these to my blanket. Okay, now this one is like screaming spring. And maybe it's just because it's Easter today, but also Easter to me. Is this also a Wool Market Fibers colorway? Oops, I better put this label back in the dark purple one so I don't forget. Okay, let's see what this one is called. Mardi Gras beads. That's right. They were talking about Mardi Gras beads. Oh, that is so much fun. I love it. Oh, thank you so much for sending that to me. That is so sweet. I love these. So I'll put the Wool Market Fibers website down below. If you see one of these colors that catches your eye, or maybe you want to look at their other colors, they have lots of very fun ones. That ends our little yarn parade. Let's move on to what do we have next? What is next? Oh, I think we have our, what is it called? Oh my gosh, why is my brain is not working like the camera is not working today. I just realized that it keeps overheating because the heat is like the vent for the heat is in the ceiling right above us. So I have to keep stopping like every 3 to 4 minutes, which is not ideal. I could move, but there's nowhere else in this room I can move to. And it's like, we're already halfway through the podcast. So I'm going to make it work. Oh yeah, in our travels. Let's move on to that and I'll stop rambling. I am so excited because my friend Dionne that I've been staying at her house has agreed to let us see her beautiful stash. So you have an amazing display here.
Thank you.
I love it so much. Now wait, what cabinets do you have?
So this is the Billy bookshelf by IKEA, and I actually have to build them yourself and you design them. So you actually could select a wood veneer, black or white. You can have, you don't need to have the glass doors. You can have no doors, or you can have solid doors. It's really nice because you can completely customize it depending on what it is that you're looking to do.
I like the glass doors. It makes it feel very like, just the way you have it arranged is so nice and you can see everything, but then you also have it closed.
Exactly. So it saves me from having to worry about dust and cleaning as much my yarn. So it's really quite handy. And then this center section is for stuff I'm using almost immediately, or I want to put on display, or I've got some books.
Cool. And we'll go around it more in just a second, but I want to get to know you more.
Okay.
So, well, I'm going to let everyone else get to know you more. I've already gotten to know you a bit over the last week, but tell us what different fiber arts that you do.
So mostly I do crochet. Crochet is my first love. I do have a circular sock machine, and I am enjoying that so much. I make a lot of socks, and then you can do some other patterns on the circular sock machine. I also am learning to knit, but I'm not fabulous at it. And I kind of dabbled in felting a little bit, although I do have to say I don't do a lot of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I anything that has to do with yarn and fiber, I really do enjoy and love.
Now, what top are you wearing? So pretty.
Thank you. This is Bark by Cecil Sandgild. She is a Danish crochet artist, and she a designer, I should say, and she's got some beautiful sweaters. I really love this one.
It's so pretty.
Mm-hmm. I often get asked at my yarn guild if this is if it's actually knitting.
Yeah,
because it's such a nice design, but it's crochet and
it's so pretty.
Thank you.
Okay, we have me behind the camera today, so it's not going to be as nice as when Ken has the camera. I'm not as strong as him. Okay, I'm like stepping back so I can see just the full range of your stash. So, okay, I'm seeing a couple things. I'm noticing something. The first is that you have a lot of something from the Frosted Stitch. Is that one of your favorite dyers?
Yes, Krista from the Frosted Stitch. She is in Canada, and she does some amazing yarn, some dyeing that is just captures a mood so wonderfully. And one of the things that she does every year is an advent that comes out. It's not a Christmas advent. It's just after, it's a half a month advent with 50 gram skeins. That's all about the Pirates of the Caribbean and each one of the movies. And that's a lot of fun. But she really does do some beautiful dye works, and I have a lot of her. You'll see I've got her here and there and everywhere.
And all over. Okay, one thing you showed me when we walked in this room is up there. It's like all Love and Stitches special membership colorways and like Knitty Natty colorways, which I've never seen somebody have before.
Yeah, it's fabulous. I love it. Right from the very beginning, I've got the little wolf knits, And every single one so far, including the Natty, the Knitty Natty from Arkansas Yarn Works, and then Ruby and Roses. They're all there. And I have projects set up for each one of them.
You do?
Or in mind. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
In mind for each one of them. So it's a lot of fun. I think the only one that's missing from up there is one that's in process.
Oh.
Yeah.
I just love that. That was so cool to see. Like, oh, people are like using it. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you organize the rest of your shelves here?
Okay, so I really have it organized primarily by weight. Bulky, Aran, DK worsted, and then I've got a little bit up here again of the DK weight, and then I move into fingering weight. So the fingering weight that I have sweater quantities and fingering weight where I have 1 or 2 skeins. On this shelf, I have all of my sock sets that are all set up for using on my circular sock machine.
Oh, cool.
And those I'll put into a cone because when
yeah.
using a circular sock machine, you really do want to put it into a cone.
Cool.
So I've got a lot of cones there. When I work with the circular sock machine, it's really great to travel with because what I have is a Dean & Beans circular sock machine, and it's actually 3D printed, so it's very light and easy to transport. So I took it with me to Mexico, and I came back with this mug that I keep all of my scissors in, my small scissors that are just, that I don't mind losing because I like to put a pair of scissors in every project bag.
Very cool.
Yeah, and then I have all my specialty yarns here. Mostly it's Surrey and mohair. And there's a yarn shop in Portland that will custom combine yarns for you and spin them up into a cone. And I really like, I just thought that would be a fun idea. So I just tried it out for the first time. And so I'll knit those up I'll crochet these up into a tank top.
Ah, what shop does that?
It's called Yarntopia.
Cool.
Yeah. And they're online, and you can actually even get very large cones. So if you don't want a break in your yarn, you can order them up and she'll give you a full sweater quantity.
Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's super cool.
I also have all of my tools and some more cones that are specifically designed for the circular sock machine. So if I ever need to, when I'm working on my socks, and if I need to need a tool or need to tweak it a little bit, I've got everything right here. And then down below, I've got my sport weight yarn, and then just some sort of extras here and there that I didn't have organized elsewhere.
Yeah. And now you teach circular sock machine tutorials on your YouTube channel, right?
I do. My YouTube channel is called Choose Yarn, and I've got circular sock machine tutorials, tips, tricks, and then some long form when I go to events, and just a few vlog entries that talk about some of my journey of learning to use the circular sock machine and just how much fun it's been to work with it.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
What you got over here?
So these are some extra canisters because not everybody has the same size feet. So this allows me to customize the size of my socks when I make them, which is nice. Of course, I've got some blocking mats, some my little library. I probably use, online and YouTube a little bit more, but I do like to have a paper reference occasionally. And my absolute favorite sock blockers that I got from Sock Week a few years ago. And this was from Fangirl Fibers. I hope she makes more of these because I love them so much. So this is a blocking mat that is specifically made for crocheted granny squares. There are several of these. Underneath, there's several holes for the rods to go in for any size square that you have. And my son gave me that for my birthday, which was really sweet of him.
Aw.
Yeah. I have got a very large selection of crochet hooks.
What's your favorite kind?
Well, I love two kinds. I love furls because it's got a really nice ergonomic shape. So I have furls for smaller hooks, and then I like pink sheep designs for the chunky hooks.
Cool. I've not seen those.
Yeah, these are great, and they stand up straight, which is really nice because they stand on their own. And I love those. And she has some really great colors. Unfortunately, I have also a dog that likes my...
also loves those crochet hooks.
Yeah, he also loves my...
oh, and they're sparkly.
Yes.
Oh, that's so fun.
I am such a sucker for sparkly. So I actually have quite a few more, but over here I have all of my project bags, and my project bags also each have the crochet hook and a small zip bag of the tools that I need to have on hand for that project.
Smart.
So whenever I want to grab a project, I can just grab the whole bag and know everything is in there, and I don't have to search for anything or bring another bag. So
organized.
Yeah, it's really nice. I also have a shelf that has some advent calendars on here that I have not yet decided what I want to work with. So in fact, one of them was one that I traded with another Love and Stitches member.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it was a lot of fun. My advent calendar turned out to be a little bit moodier than I wanted, and she had one that was in pastels and watercolor colors that she didn't know what to do with. It was a really nice trade. Yeah. Okay, and then my projects that I have down here.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me about your scraps over here. This is so fun.
So I really love working with scraps, and I have several projects around it. So I've got this organized so that I've got 30 to 50 gram balls in this basket. These are scraps that I have not yet weighed and organized.
Oh, so smart.
So I throw them in here.
For processing.
For processing, exactly. And then I have them organized my scraps organized by weight. Oh, yeah. So I have 3 to 5 grams, 5 to 10 grams, 10 to 15 grams, and 15 to 30 grams in each one of these glass jars.
Very smart. And then what's on the end there?
These are all my yarn ends. So as I clip them from winding, a lot of it is the ends from a project after you're done weaving in the ends, or when I wind my yarn up and you clip off the ties. I just throw them into that jar. I just really love the way it looks.
So smart.
Is really the way it is. And then, when it fills up, I'll just donate those either to the fiber mill up north of me, or to one of my friends that actually spins wool, and she's thinking that she'd like to do a project with them.
So I want to see, I've been able to see some of your scrappy projects that you're working on. And what fascinated me about it is you have different rules for when scraps can be added in and what colors. And I've just never seen someone process it that way, and it's so smart. So can we show some of your projects?
Yeah, absolutely.
Which one do you want to start with?
So let's start with the scrappiest of projects. Now this one is just a granny stripe blanket by Attic 24.
Yeah, I love this one.
And it's fingering weight. It's
so
not
pretty.
held double, so I did change it up a little bit. But for this scrap project, this is 100% scrap. And my only rule here is that it is between 1 gram, which is pretty small, and 7 grams.
Oh.
So anything over 7 grams, I'm not going to put it in this blanket. And I do try to be a little bit mindful about how I put it in and make sure that I've got a nice balance between lights and darks.
I'm noticing that I don't see a lot of ends. You must be weaving them in as you go.
I am weaving them in as I go, but sometimes I haven't done the full clip of the leftovers. But
Very
I
nice.
absolutely am weaving them in as I go. Otherwise, it would be it would be a nightmare, and I wouldn't want to finish it.
So cool.
Yeah.
Love
So,
that.
however, this one I oftentimes run out of scraps. And so it's really nice if I'm with my knit guild and they might just be sitting there and hand over a scrap while I'm working on it, and I can just put it right into
Love
this
that.
blanket. So for this one, it's the same blanket actually, but for this one, my rule is that it's in rainbow stripes. So I'm doing red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and then purple. That's the order that I'm going in. And my rule for this one is I have to have at least 14 grams of any primary color. And I am enjoying the difference between variegated and maybe a tonal. And then I do 4 rows, 2 rows of every color, and 4 rows or two rows of every yarn and 4 rows of every color. And then the last color needs to be transitional and the first color needs to be transitional. So for example here, and I don't know.
So you can bring it closer.
Yeah. So
there you go.
Here you might see that the last row of red has got some orange in it, and the first row of orange has some red in it.
Pretty.
Yeah. So it's really nice.
Very cool.
And this is another one that also I can't have anything that has that throws off the rainbow order. And then the last forever whip that I have going on is this is going to be a cocoon cardie. And it's actually also using the granny stitch. And for this, my rule is it's got to be in shades of red and at least 7 grams because I want a full stripe to come out of it. Actually 8 grams for this pattern. It takes 8 grams to make 1 full stripe.
So how does this go together? Is this like one sleeve across the other?
No, what you do is you create a rectangle, and then once the rectangle is done, you're going to fold over the sleeves like this.
Oh, okay.
And that creates the, maybe I can do this laying down, but that creates the sleeve. And then I will do a single stitch crocheted hem around the sleeves, and then around the neckline. But I'll probably add a few more just after I've created the rectangle. I'll probably add just a few more rows of the granny squares, just so it's a little bit longer and covers my bum.
Okay.
Because I'm going to be wearing it around the house to keep warm. And so I can, I'll want it to be just a little bit longer and not have that cropped look.
I love that. That's so cool.
Yeah. On my Ravelry page, I have what size square you need for, I think I put down 4 sizes. It's just on my Ravelry link.
Because this is something you've designed.
Well, I think that the cocoon cardie is kind of ubiquitous. So it's everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's not, I have customized this, but I didn't come up with the design. There's a million out there and all of them are really super great and lovely.
I love that.
And I think most of them are free.
Cool.
So, but anyway, so you could go on to the Ravelry that I have and see how I've done this scrappy one.
Perfect.
I actually have a bundle of a ton of my Advent and Scrappy crochet projects. It's a bundle and it's also a bunch of patterns because I've made probably 12 projects so far of scraps and Advents that have all have rules around them.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So,
well, thank you so much for letting us see your stash. It's been so fun to tour it, and hopefully people have gotten some inspiration, especially with your scrappy organization. I I love that you have a space to drop them before you organize them, because that's my problem, is then they're just like everywhere.
Right.
And sitting out, and I'm like, wait, have I organized this yet? So that is super smart.
Thank you. It's really fun. And I've just really enjoyed having you here. So it's been fun looking through and sharing my yarn stash and my scrap organization. Not everybody loves scraps, but hopefully somebody will get inspired to do a really great scrappy project.
Definitely. Thank you.
Yeah.
Just a few more things I wanted to highlight from this week. One, we have been staying here at my friend DIONN'S. I know I mentioned that a couple times and you just saw her yarn stash, but it's been such a nice time to like relax and rejuvenate. Kent has actually been at a bachelor party since Wednesday. Today is Sunday. I'm picking him back up today, and we're getting back on the road. So it's just been me and Toaster here with DIONN'S family, which has been nice, kind of a nice break. I've gotten so much work done. I've gotten some time to relax. I've gotten some yarn wound. It's been just brilliant. But the best thing has been how Toaster has been getting along with their dog, Leon. It's been so sweet. They have just been playing, like rough housing, running around outside, playing tug. I haven't seen Toaster do that with a dog in a really long time. So it's been really sweet. And I think he's going to miss being here even more than I am. Currently, he's laying on the bed, taking a rest. So it's been so nice. The other things, we went to a Kraken game, another Kraken game. Now I've been to two, but this time they were playing the Dallas Stars, which was fun for me because I love the Dallas Stars, and we got to sit super close to the ice. I think only one other time have I sat this close, and it was such a good experience. I'm so grateful that I got to not just go to one, but two Kraken games and get to sit so close. It was really, really cool. And then the last thing is that I had a wonderful time with Dion and my friend Nicole. We met on one day this week, I think it was Friday, and we got to sit outside for hours. I mean, maybe 4 hours we were there, I think, sitting at this beautiful coffee shop that was on the water, and it was like at a ferry, near a ferry stop. So you got to like see the ferries coming and going. And the weather had just gone from being rainy to being sunny and so nice. So we just sat outside for hours. Toaster came with us. We knitted, we crocheted, we had coffee, we had cookies, bagels, and it was just such a delight. So I've definitely enjoyed my time here in the Seattle area. I know I haven't been out and about as much as normal, but I think I definitely needed this time to like rest and recoup. And now I'm feeling ready to travel again. Here's what is coming up this week. So first, we have our Red Stag Fiber Studio Tour. That actually already happened on Tuesday. So you can go watch that, check that out, and look out for that new base that I was talking about from the Manor collection. Josh shows us lots of different colors that yarn is going to come in, and be on the lookout for that coming out April 5th. Twice Sheared Sheep has a special sale coming out for their Snow Days cowl kit. It's going to be April 4th through the 6th, and I'll have the link down below. So this kit includes the Snow Days cowl pattern. It is super cute color work, and then your choice of 2 different colors of their Twice Sheared Sheep Everyday Merino yarn, which is 100% superwash merino wool. So definitely check that one out if you're looking for a good kind of quick project that is not going to take a super long time, but is very fun to make. The Sorella Yarn Library Collection opens on April 5th. I took a screen recording from Instagram of all of the colors that they have released so far, showing like the book covers with the yarn colors. Now, the way that Sorella usually does their collections is they will open them on a Friday, April 5th, and then they will take as many orders as come in over the weekend, and then they will close after the weekend. So you can get as much yarn as you want. You could get one of every single color. You could get sweaters quantities, blankets quantities of anything, but you have to make sure that you shop that weekend, because then they close it, then they send out their lead time on those orders, and then they dye everything. So if you want to get something from the library collection, make sure you set an alarm for this Friday, April 5th. Yarn Centric is coming up in Frederick, Maryland, May 2nd and 3rd. I've been talking about this one for a long time, but now it's like only a month away. Make sure to grab your tickets for either the Thursday night event with La Bienna May or the Friday shopping event. I will not be there this year, but I really hope to get there in 2025. There's also 2 different yarn store tours or yarn crawls that are happening in the Washington State in the Pacific Northwest. The first is the PNW Yarn Crawl, and it has a bunch of stores in it. It says May 2nd through the 5th. And then the other one is the Puget Sound Local Yarn Store Tour. I'll make sure I get that right. And that one is May 15th through the 19th. I will put links for all of these things that I've talked about down below in the coming up segment, so it's very easy to find. That is everything for today. Thanks for dealing with all the camera turning off things. Maybe that won't happen again when I now know not to set up underneath heat. Did not know that before. It's something new that I learned. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!